Canada has the same climate conditions. They have a shitty budget, so I know they're not managing their forests, any better than the United States, if not worse. And they've lost 2% of the acreage that the United States has lost. That is quite bizarre, don't you think? All right, everybody. Terrence Popp here with another episode of Live from the Lair. And today I'm going to be covering basically the escalation of the craziness that's going on in America. And if you haven't really been paying attention to the news, we have a wildfire situation going on the western half of the United States. All right, now, compared to other years, what's going on in this time frame, it appears to be way worse. And I wonder why that is. We're going to be talking about that. So, with that being said, wildfires or sabotage? Let us begin.
Howdy, partner. The Brave browser protects your privacy and gets you back in the saddle, making it safe to surf the web again, ad-free. Even Vladimir Putin probably uses it. If you do choose to see ads, you get paid for your attention in cryptocurrency. If you're still using YouTube on Google Chrome, then my pet horse is laughing at you. Don't let the stallions of Silicon Valley spy on you and mount you like a prize pony. Download Brave by clicking on the link down below.
All right, on the West Coast, we have Oregon, which roughly has 1 million acres, went up in smoke, and roughly 1 in 10 people are now displaced from their homes in regards to the craziness that's going on. California's had 3.1 million acres smoked by these wildfires, and Washington State is at 600,000 acres smoked up until this point. I believe we have somewhere between 108 active fires going on the West Coast. That's plus or minus 5, because I looked at several of the articles. I could not get an exact number. Now, typically this time of year, there are wildfires that take place, mainly in California. The big one in Washington, that's a tough one because Washington, gets a lot of rain. Oregon is pretty much the same. I don't understand 1 million acres, in Oregon going up in smoke like this. Now, leadership of those states, what they're saying is this is a perfect storm. The wind, the drought, the temperature. It's all because of climate change. Okay, now leave it to the Democrats not to pass up a good tragedy. I don't think that's the case. Because we're going to put a map up on the screen that shows the active fires that are taking place on the West Coast. And they pretty much stop in Canada, though Canada has roughly, I think, 22 to 25 active wildfires since, I believe, July. Okay, and of all of the damage done in those wildfires was roughly 60,000 acres, give or take. The United States has lost 4.7 million acres. So let's put this into perspective. The West Coast, especially West Coast Canada, has had 24 fires and they've lost roughly 60,000 acres. America has lost 4.7 million acres. Canada has the same climate conditions. They have a shitty budget, so I know they're not managing their forests, any better than the United States, if not worse. And they've lost 2% of the acreage that the United States has lost. That is quite bizarre, don't you think? Especially when you look at Mexico. They had some fires back in May, June time frame. But I couldn't find any active wildfires that happened to be taking place south of the border in Mexico. I wonder why that is. Is it that climate change is only affecting United States? Or could it be something else? Now, if you've been checking the news, there have been some arrests made in regards to this so-called arson events that have taken place. And when you look at it in this perspective, especially when the amount of damage done, the amount of fires that are taking place, and some of the arrests that have happened, I am going to make a logical deduction here that we have moved out of the agitator phase into light insurrection. Typically, light insurrections are heavy in sabotage. And I cannot think of any softer targets to attack than forests and other wild growth areas. You know, historically speaking, arson is very hard to prove. It's very hard to catch a suspect unless you film him doing it or you have eyewitnesses. And it's very easy to do because you can go to the gas station, hardware store, and purchase everything you need to start your career as a firebug. Timers are not that hard to get your hands on, and none of that stuff is controlled or monitored barely at all. So, I mean, if there's some guys out there on the other end of the equation like me, they would mix up some stuff to start a lot of these fires and put them in position with time delays. And you could delay those things, I don't know, out to a week, especially if you're in an area that doesn't get a lot of rain. And you can even waterproof the stuff, so even if it does rain, it will still go off. Though I can't really tell you how effective it'll be in an area that has just rained. But dollars to donuts, I highly believe that the amount of fires and damages that we are seeing is not an accident in any way, shape, or form. So what do we expect moving forward? Well, we're going to see more arson and more fires. Now, if you check out the arson map of Portland, LA, Chicago, Detroit, you know, all of the blue cities and the blue states, you will see between May and the, middle of September that there has been an uptick in building arsons. You know, people throwing Molotov cocktails and shit catches on fire. And nobody saw who did it and it's not on film. Good luck. Contact your insurance agencies. Moving forward, we've already seen some shootings taking place. I believe it was yesterday, the day before yesterday, 2 police officers were shot in their car and rushed to a hospital where Black Lives Matter basically swarmed the hospital stating they hope they die and so forth. So, yeah, I think that speaks volumes to what we're up against moving forward. As they get more organized and if they get more numbers that swell to their ranks and they have enough money, they're going to go up to harder targets. Harder targets means something that they could attack and destroy that's, lightly if defended at all, but it's in a more, urban area like power transfer stations, power plants, and so forth. I mean, those things are unguarded and are easily, taken down. You can take them down with a high power rifle, especially one that's zeroed out to 200 meters and shoots like 1-inch shot groups. You can shoot down cables all day long. And as they get more brazen, you'll probably see attack on transportation, i.e. trains, buses, planes, airports. And then they'll move into attacking police stations, substations, and other high-profile maximum target result areas, i.e. courthouses, sheriff office buildings. They might even go after, some old folks' homes for the shock value, schools, stuff like that. I hate being the bearer of bad news, but please check out my earlier videos in regards to the Civil War, and you'll see that I've predicted all of this moving forward to a high degree of accuracy. All right, now, please like and share this video and send it out far and wide, because people need to know what's going on, and you are not getting that from the mainstream media. Not in any way, shape, or form. Oh, God, I'm tired today. Anyway, that's me. Take it easy. I'm out.